So welcome everybody and happy Shiva Mahashivaratri. Happy Shiva Maharatri. So today is a day that we honor Shiva. And it's a very, very special day for me. For many years, I've been chanting on this day, because on this day, Mahashivaratri, it is considered the day to honor that divine within ourselves, that divine that is in everything. Shiva is symbolic of everything, that energy, divine energy that is in all things. So on this day, when you chant the name of Shiva, and the chant that I have chanted for many years is Om Namah Shivaya. So on this day, it is supposed to be even more powerful than any other day, thousands of times more powerful. So many years ago, my very first Shivaratri chant, which is where you chant through the night. My very first time to chant through the night like this was in India in the year of 1986, 87, and we chanted through the night. And at some point through the night, in that stillness where everything was quiet except for the chant, and we're in this beautiful courtyard and you can smell the night blooming jasmine, and my mind is just totally still from chanting for hours. I'm about 17 years old. And all of a sudden, I become aware that I am totally immersed in the chant. And I'm chanting without even putting any effort into it. It's just happening magically and automatically, naturally. And my inner chant inside the chant is going on. And at the same time, I'm saying it out loud. I didn't even know, am I saying it out loud or just inside? It all just merged together into this amazing, beautiful experience of just total love and connection in that very present moment. So the power of that chant of Namah Shivaya is incredibly powerful. So today we will honor the Shiva Nataraj, the dancing Shiva with a Shiva Nataraj pose, and we'll be building up to it in our class today. So let's begin by opening up our hands, opening up our hearts. And let's bring our hands in front of our hearts. You can close your eyes, softly bowing towards your heart. And we'll open with one Om, honoring that divine within ourselves in all things. Let's take a deep inhale. And let's just place our hands on our thighs and let's keep our eyes closed or soft. And with the next inhale, we're going to repeat Namah, and on the exhale, Shivaya. And we're going to do this for 4 rounds. Inhaling Namah, exhaling Shivaya. So, and we're going to say this out loud for the first 4 times, and then we'll say it quietly to ourselves. So I'll guide you. Inhale, Namah. Exhale, Shivaya. Namah. Shivaya. Inhale, Namah. Exhale, Shivaya. Inhale, Namah. Exhale, Shivaya. So stay with your breath and repeat this to yourself with the inhale and the exhale a couple more times. So one of the powers of this mantra, it's this energy in it. It's not so much the meaning, but it's also the Sanskrit sound and energy. So just connect with that, with your breath. And we can open up our eyes. And we're going to come onto all fours. And I invite you to continue repeating this Nama on the inhale, exhale Shivaya, or as naturally as possible throughout the practice today as a way to connect to that divine within you. So let's begin with an inhale, softening the heart to the earth. You can inhale Nama, exhale Shivaya, pulling the navel in. And do a couple more rounds of the breath. And Namah Shivaya to yourself in a way that feels natural, however it feels natural. And if it doesn't feel natural, then that's okay. If you have another mantra you like to connect that connects you to your heart, then you're welcome to use that. Couple more rounds of cat and cow. So with the next inhale, you lift your chin, bring your toes together, and bring the hips back to your heels. Press your hands into the earth and inhale, lift the chin. And then exhaling, pressing the hands into the earth. Root the hips with the exhale towards the heels and bring your forehead to the earth. Let's take a couple of deep breaths here. Deep inhale to the back body. Exhaling long, sinking the hips into the heels. Deep inhale to the back body behind the heart. Exhaling, sinking more into the earth, arriving on the mat, arriving into that space, that sacred space within your own being, your own peaceful, fragrant inner courtyard. Drawing in a deep breath, expanding in the heart space, exhaling, softening, releasing the day, releasing thoughts. Let everything melt into the mat. Let the arms be heavy on the earth, the head heavy. Letting everything go into the mat as you bring more awareness to your breath, more awareness to your inner mantra. The mind is melting into the heart. With the next inhale, let's come onto all fours, and we're going to come right onto our backs. Let's start with drawing our knees into the chest here. And you can rock back and forth a little bit, hugging the knees into the chest. So let's hug the right knee into the chest and extend the left leg out. And let the left leg hover over the earth as you hug in the right knee. And I'll draw the right knee over to the right and hug it in. And I'll exhale, release the bottom leg. And let's take this right knee and cross it over the body. Just beginning to open up here in our spine. Extend the right hand out. With an exhale, dropping the right shoulder towards the earth as you twist and gently gaze over to the right. Just beginning to open up the spine and the hips, bringing awareness inside. And let's come back. Bend the right leg up to the sky. Stretch the foot your leg into your hands. Stretch the right heel up to the sky, opening up the back of the leg. And then breathe. Inhale, drawing the breath deep into the lower belly, filling to the top of the lungs. Exhaling, pressing the thigh into your hand. And release the right leg. Let's draw the left knee in, hug it into the chest, and extend the right leg out. Let the right leg hover over the earth here. Inhale, draw the knee in. Exhaling long. Inhale, draw the left knee over to the left. Hug it in. Exhale long. Now you're going to drop the extended leg to the earth. With your right hand, just guide the left knee over to the right. Try to lift both shoulders on the earth and gaze over to the left. Extend your left arm out here. Deep inhale. Exhaling, releasing the left shoulder to the earth. Releasing, softening in the belly as you move into the twist. And let's come back. Bending both knees here now. We're going to take our strap and place it underneath our right foot. And stretch the right leg up to the sky. Hugging muscles above the knee, pulling the kneecaps up. So rotate your right foot out to the right and we'll open up to the right. And let the left knee fall over towards the left. Taking the breath deep into the lower belly. Top of the lungs. Now exhale the breath from the core of the pelvis out through your right leg, out through the heel. Do another breath like that. Deep into lower belly to the top of the lungs. Then bring your awareness. You could take your left hand to the lower belly as you exhale out through the pelvis, through your right leg, through your heel. Extending that leg. Feel that it's growing longer. The energy even moves past the heel. As you exhale, feel the energy moving through the leg and extending beyond the heel. Wonderful. Bring the leg back up. Inhale, drawing the leg a little towards you. Keep the muscles hugging above the knee to help open up the back of the leg, drawing it towards you. And release the right leg. You can stretch it out. And then you can keep it extended or bend the right knee, whatever works best for your back. And let's take the left leg. Take it into the strap onto the bottom of the foot. Hug the muscles above the knee. Now rotate the toes towards the left. And we're going to open up the leg to the left. And let's actually bend this right knee so that we can open up the knee away from us. So we can create an opening on both sides of the hips here. So pressing the foot into the strap. Now bringing your awareness to your breath. Inhale the mantra. Exhaling long. Envision the breath moving out through the pelvis, through the leg, out through the heel. Let's do that a couple more breaths. Breathing in deep to your core, all the way to the top of the lungs. Exhaling from the core of the pelvis, moving out the leg, extending all the way past your left heel. Inhale, bring the leg back to center now. And hug muscles very firmly above the knee, stretching the leg up and gently pulling it towards you. Just gently. Breathe into the back of your leg here. Direct your breath there. And let's release that leg. Beautiful. Extend both legs up to the sky. Flex the toes. Hug the legs to the midline. Extend your arms out. And we're going to lift the hips and move them to the left. And then the legs are going to come over to the right towards your right hand, and they're going to hover over the earth. We've done this before. Hugging to the midline, strengthening and lengthening here. You can gaze straight ahead or gaze to your left if you like. Inhale up, lift hips and bump them over to the right. Inhale, stretch, and exhale, legs over to the left. They're going to hover. They're moving towards your left hand. Try to keep both shoulders on the earth if possible. Inhale, back up. And we're going to do this again. Inhale, bump hips over to the left. Stretch legs over towards the right. Inhale up. And bump hips over to the other side. And legs come over to the opposite direction. Stretching through the heels, hugging through the midline. Beautiful. Come back up. And release the legs to the earth. Extend arms overhead. Stretch out through the fingertips and flex your feet. Hug muscle to bone here. Beautiful. And let everything fall into the mat. Bend the knees. We're going to cross the ankles here. Clasp behind the legs and rock up. And we'll come onto our knees. And let's come to our knees here. I'm going to sit back onto our heels. We're going to do a little bit of opening for our ankles. Let's take our hands behind and lift, hug the knees together. Lift onto your toes. Lift through the chest here. We're preparing for our dancing Shiva posture. And we'll have some balancing on our feet. So the foundation starts with the feet, and we want to open up the ankles and the toes. So let's come back, come forward. Now curl the toes under behind you. And yes, you know where we're going. We're going to shift the hips back to the heels, curling the toes under. And we'll just take a couple of breaths here. So let's take our hands behind our back. And if you can't clasp your hands behind the back, you can use a strap and hold the edges of the strap. So whatever is best for you. So I'm going to clasp my hands behind, or you got your strap. Interlace fingers, have the hands here at the sacrum. And let's roll shoulders up and back, bending elbows. Inhale, straighten the arms. Deep inhale, lengthening up through the spine here to the crown of the head. Exhale, come forward to the top of the head and let the arms open up towards the earth. Only let them open in a way that feels good. Don't push. And breathe into the shoulders here. Direct the breath through your intention into the shoulders. Exhaling, softening in the shoulders, maybe opening a little more. Take a couple more breaths like this. Deep inhale to the shoulders. Exhaling, softening and opening in the shoulders. Now release the hands to the earth. And we're going to release the toes now and bring the hips back to the toes for a child pose. And I want you to walk your hands out in front. Fingertips like spiders walking out. Lift shoulders towards the ears here. Lift your chin and now root your sit bones into your heels and press your fingers into the earth. Pressing as if you're trying to move your mat away from you as you root the hips into the earth, lifting the chin. And see if you can engage with your lower belly here. Activating the lower belly, activating our core strength. Now press the whole palm into the earth, like our downward facing dog arms. Rooting the hips even more into the earth. Inhaling, rooting, and exhaling. Let's fold forward again. And you can place forehead on the earth, or maybe you can stack hands together Maybe you place your forehead on your hands. Or if forehead comes to the earth, you may want to grab your heels and just take a couple of breaths here, letting hips be heavy. And let's place hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale and rise up. Let's come onto all fours and we'll move into our first downward facing dog. So hands just a little bit in front of the shoulders, claw the earth, move the knees back a little past the hips. Inhale, rise up. Now keep the chin lifted, gazing in between the hands. Knees are bent high on the toes. Trying to make that dip in our lower back here. Now lift the shoulders up by the ears with an inhale. And then exhale, push hands into the earth, moving away, engaging the lower belly again, bringing the head in between the arms. Beautiful. Stretch through the arms, through the torso, all the way, lifting through the sit bones. Wonderful. Now make the feet as wide as your mat. Bending the knees. And now beginning to straighten the legs, pulling the hips back, lowering the heels slowly towards the earth. We'll come into a modified downward facing dog here with our feet wide. Deep inhale, long exhale, a couple more breaths. Now come back down to your knees and we'll lower down to the earth. Inhale, come for cobra. Hands press into the earth, shoulders up and back. Tops of the feet press into the earth. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, move hips. Now I want you to press your hands into the earth and engaging with your lower belly again, pushing back to a puppy pose with an exhale. Now inhale, come to a cobra again. Chin and chest to the earth, roll into cobra. Inhale. Now exhale, push hands with the exhale into the earth again, lifting the chin and then come into your puppy pose. Another inhale, chin to the earth, shoulders up and back. Exhaling again, puppy pose, lifting chin, press hands into the earth, come into your full puppy pose. And let's do this one more time in a flow that works for you. Inhaling cobra. Exhaling, pushing back into puppy pose. And inhale, let's come back into cobra. And then we're going to take our right forearm and place it in front of us. And bend the back leg, your left back foot. And let's take our hand with the thumb facing up to the sky. Grab your foot inside. Press the foot into the hand and draw the left shoulder up and back. And then exhaling on your next exhale, draw the heel towards you. Inhale, press the foot into the hand, pull it back again, pulling the shoulder back. Exhaling, this time pulling heel towards the hip and lift your hip. Lift your hip all the way up to see if you can meet the heel if possible. Take a breath here. And then try to lower the hip and notice if the heel comes down with it a little more. Beautiful. You can move a little deeper in. Then maybe you can gaze forward. Stay here for 5 more breaths. Finishing with the last breath. Deep inhale, long exhale. And let's do the other side. Left forearm in front. Lengthen through the torso. Bend the back leg. For me, it's the right. And take your hand with the thumb up to the sky, grabbing the inside of the foot. Press the foot into the hand and draw the shoulder back. Inhale, and then exhale, drawing heel towards you. Inhale, press foot into the hand. Exhale, draw heel towards you. Next time, foot goes into the hand. Now this time, lift the hip up and draw the heel towards the hip. And while you're doing this, you can take this right shoulder up and back, loop it back Even get your shoulder back a little more, shoulder blade onto the back. Maybe your hand shifts so it's on top of the foot. And then keeping the heel pressing towards the buttocks, lowering the hip to the earth. Gazing forward for 5 breaths. Deep inhale, long exhale. On the exhale, you can draw the foot maybe a little closer. Finishing up with your last breath, then release down to the earth. Inhale, let's push back. Let's just go to one puppy pose. Forehead to the earth, stretch through the spine and the hips. Beautiful. Come back to all fours. And we're gonna inhale and extend the left arm out and extend the right leg out. Lengthen and stretch. So you could stay here. Maybe you can grab your hand to your foot and press the foot into the hand and move the foot up towards the sky. Opening up in the shoulder, and maybe you can gaze forward. And release, extend out, and let's do the other side. Right hand, left leg. So you might just be right here from the core of the pelvis moving out the leg and from the heart out to the fingertips. And if you can, bend the back leg, grab it. And again, with the thumb up to the sky, grab the outside of the foot and stretch it up. Press the foot into the hand like we did earlier. Pull back the right shoulder, gaze forward. Bottom hand, claw the earth and press it into the earth to support you. Breathe, release and lengthen, and come back. Push back to a puppy pose for a breath. Deep inhale, long exhale, root the hips all the way to the heels. Let the knees be wide here for a breath. Beautiful. Let's come up to a downward facing dog. Warming up our spine and our hips and the legs. Inhale, right leg up. Let's bring it into the chest. Bring it in between our hands for a forward lunge. Drop the back knee. Let's take our hands to the thighs. So let's gaze in towards our heart. As you gaze in towards the heart, moving the bottom ribs back. So pressing your hands into your thigh, moving the bottom ribs back, gazing into your heart. Take a breath here. Deep inhale, and then exhaling, maybe sinking your hips a little deeper. Deep inhale. You can repeat the mantra if you like. And the next exhale, lifting the chin, gazing forward. And if you have your steadiness and balance, and then bring the arms up overhead. Expand from the heart out through the fingertips to the sky. Gently lifting the head. And breathe. Release the hands down. We're going to take the left hand to the earth. Lift the back leg. And extend the right hand up to the sky. Energy moves out the back heel. Straight, strong back leg. Let's come down. Let's shift the hips back here as much as you can. Maybe the leg straightens, lengthening forward. Take the right leg back. Downward facing dog. Tops of the thighs moving back. Lift shoulders up towards the ears. Press hands into the earth. Stretching the mat away from you as you bring head in between the arms. Beautiful. Inhale the left leg and bring it in between your hands. Let's do a lunge on the opposite side. So hands to your tops of your thigh here. If this is too much for you to balance, then you can keep your hands here. Hands to the top of the thigh. Inhale, shoulders up and back. And now we're going to move our ribs lower ribs back as we press our hands into the thigh, gazing into our heart here. Deep inhale, and then exhale, softening a little more in the hips if possible. Next inhale, lifting chin. If you have your balance here, and you can help to maintain balance by your front heel and back knee moving towards the midline, as if you're trying to move your shins in towards each other or scissoring legs towards each other. So once you have that connection with your inner steadiness, your inner Shiva-ness, open up your arms and your heart and extend from the heart out through the fingertips. And let's bring the right hand down to the earth, lift the back leg. Make that leg straight and strong, twist and gaze upwards towards your left hand. Beautiful. Let's drop the back knee. And let's bring the left leg back, meet in plank or knees on the earth, or lower it down to the earth. Interlace hands behind the back. Inhale, shoulders up and back, and extend the arms out if possible. Lift the legs for a Shalabhasana. Hug everything to the midline as you squeeze your shoulder blades on the back body. Thighs, the shins are moving towards each other, and release. And we'll press back either to downward facing dog or puppy posture, whatever's best for you. And then we'll come meeting at the top of the mat in a Tadasana. Take a breath here. Heels lowering down to the earth. And let's walk to the top of the mat. And come to a forward fold. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. You can place your hands on your shins with a lengthening. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Again, you can have hands on the shins if you like. And exhale, fold. Bend the knees. Take your hands to your hips, roll shoulders up and back, press feet into the earth and rise up. Beautiful. So we're going to come to the center of the mat. And let's bring the arms up overhead and take the left hand to the right wrist and stretch over to the left. So we're stretching to the left, and then take your left leg and open to the right. And bring that beautiful deep stretch into the whole body. And let's release the arms to the hands and come back. Bring the opposite hand up. Now you're going to take your right hand to the left wrist, stretch up, over to the right. Now take your right leg, cross it over, and bring that stretch into the whole left side of the body, and breathe. Deep inhale, long exhale. Beautiful. Release and come back to center. So we're going to come to some standing postures. Open up the legs, and let's have the right foot point out to the right, the back foot roots into the earth, and let's open up the hands for Virabhadrasana 2. Feet root into the earth and draw the energy. As you press feet into the earth, draw it up through the legs, strong knees into the core of the pelvis, from the heart out through the fingertips. Gaze over your front fingertips. Bend the front knee, gazing one pointed in front of you. And let's take the right hand to our front knee, the left hand to the hip, and we'll move into a side angle pose, Parvokonasana. Take the left arm up and over. Palm is facing towards the earth. Lifting the heart, gently gazing upwards. Wonderful. Inhale, press feet into the earth and come back to center. And let's pivot the feet to the other side. Hands to hips. Left foot points out. The Front foot intersects the back. Open up the hands and the heart. Feet root into the earth as if you're trying to pull it away, pulling energy up from the earth. Hug muscle to bone to the core, out from the heart through the hands, bend the front knee. You want to try to bring head over heart, over pelvis. So shoulders over pelvis. So you don't want to be out here or here. Try to come into your alignment. Hugging into the midline. As you press feet away from each other, connect to that core energy in your core center. Gaze over the front fingertips. Maybe sink a little more in the hips. Breathe. One pointed drishti or focus as you draw your energy in. And then exhale, take the front elbow to the front knee, right hand to your hip. Roll this top shoulder up and back. Now find your balance. Press feet into the earth, pulling away from each other. Inhale, top hand up and over for a full Parvo Konasana. Beautiful. Maybe you can gently only gaze upwards if you feel you have your balance. Otherwise, you can gaze down at the floor. Inhale, rise up. Beautiful. Come to the top of your mat. Let's bring our feet back for downward facing dog. Shift either to plank or to your knees. We'll lower down to the earth. Inhale, come to cobra. Exhale, puppy pose. Press hands into the earth. Lift the chin and then forehead to the earth for a nice big stretch. Inhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up and bring it in between the hands. We're going to move into a Trikonasana now. Inhale, windmill the arms up. Front foot intersects the back. Open up heart and hands. Pull the energy up from the feet to the core of the pelvis. And then from the heart, extend out. So the feet are strong, knees are strong. Take your hand either to the floor or to your shin. Inhale the top arm up. So you want to draw your right sit bone down and in, drawing your tailbone down and in, and then pressing the mound of the the front foot into the earth. And expand from the heart out. Beautiful. So let's come back to downward facing dog, and we'll do the opposite side. Extend the left leg up. Bring the left knee in between the hands. We'll open up, windmill up for Trikonasana. You'll see my back body now, pressing feet into the earth, as if you're trying to move your mat into two. Strong energy in the legs as you pull up into the core of the pelvis from the heart out through the fingertips. Take a deep inhale here, lower belly to the top of the lungs. Exhale long as you extend out, either grabbing your shin or hand to the earth. Now drawing this left sit bone down and in, or scooping the tailbone down and in if that helps you more. Press the mound of the big toe into the earth. Activate strong legs. From the heart, expand out through the top fingertips. And breathe. Opening up to this present moment, full breath. Om Namah Shivaya. Inhale, press feet into the earth, and we'll rise up. And we'll come to the center of our mat. We're going to come into a balancing posture. So come to your Tadasana. You may, if your mat's a little soft, you might want to come onto the solid floor. So let's take the energy into the left leg and root the left foot into the earth. Gaze one pointed focus at drishti is a one pointed focus. When you're looking out, it's also drawing your energy in. So it's actually an inner focus looking out, and an outer focus drawing you in. So once you have that one-pointed look, lift your right leg, and you can grab your knee or grab the bottom of your right foot. And we'll stay here for just a couple of breaths. And if you fall out, come back in. Strong foot and leg. And release the right leg. Shift the energy to the opposite leg. Root the leg into the earth. Hug muscle to bone. One-pointed drishti. Lift the left leg. Either grab your knee or grab the bottom of your foot. Gazing one-pointed. I'm looking one-pointedly at you. Maintain your breath, connection, and we'll release. Beautiful. Bringing hands to center. Breath. Breathing your breath. You can close your eyes for a couple moments or let your eyes be soft, gazing forward. And become aware of the breath, breathing into the back body. That's the energetic space of the heart. Breathing behind the heart. This is where the heart chakra lives, our energetic heart. Deep inhale, breathing into that space behind the heart, expanding in the back body. Exhale, feel the energy moving from the heart into the pelvis, through the legs, into the feet, into the earth. Inhaling, expanding into the back of the heart. Exhaling the energy through the legs, through the feet, into the earth. The next inhale, draw the energy up from the earth now. Through the legs, from the core of the pelvis into the heart. And then from the heart, breathe it out. Expand out into the world. Inhaling, drawing energy from the earth, through the legs, to the core of the pelvis, to the heart. And exhaling, breathing the mantra out into the world. So we're going to take our hands to the hips, and we're going to come into our dancing Shiva Nataraj. So let's first look at our left foot. Spread the toes, root the foot into the earth, and inhale, drawing the energy up through the feet into the leg. Hug muscle the bone above the knees. And you're going to bend the right knee and grab your foot. So you can either grab it from the inside or the out. Extend the left arm. You can just bring it out in front of you. And then press the back foot into the hand. And we're going to hinge from the hips and move into our dancing Shiva. Gazing forward. If you come out, come back in. And once you're there, you can come back. Bring hands in front of your heart and breathe. Connecting to that space behind the heart. Deep inhale, long exhale. These balancing postures help to bring us deeper inside, helps to bring our focus and awareness deeper inside. That's one of the powers of the dancing Shiva, Najarasanasana. So let's take the opposite side. Press the right foot into the earth. Draw the energy up from the earth through the leg. Hug strong knees, hug muscle to bone. So you're going to take the back foot. And inhale, extend the right arm up or in front of you, whatever is best for you. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, you're going to hinge from the hips. Press the foot into the hand and gaze forward. And then come back, hands in front of the heart. Take a few moments, connecting to your breath, connecting to your stillness, connecting to Om Namah Shivaya. I am divine. Nothing like balancing postures to bring our focus and awareness inside. Come to the top of your mat. And we'll inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. And exhale, the right foot back. We're going to drop the back knee. And then take your left foot in, coming to the edge of the foot, bringing the edge of the foot right below the heart. So the knee comes out to the left. You can even use your hand to bring the edge of the foot right below your heart. Press hands into the earth here and lengthen through your spine. And now bring the foot in a little more as we move into a pigeon prep. So you can bring the foot a little closer towards your other hip to come into a pigeon. Back toes are curled under. So let's take the right hand, take the inside of your right thigh and spiral the inside of the thigh, moving up towards the sky, leveling your pelvis more. And inhale, lengthening. Exhaling, you can round forward. Maybe you come to a block, maybe your elbows, or maybe your forehead comes to the earth. And we'll take a couple of breaths here, keeping the awareness of the breath behind the heart, of the energetic heart. Inhale, expanding in the back of the heart, and exhaling, softening in the hips, softening the ribs, softening the forehead towards the earth. Inhale, expanding in the back of the heart. Exhaling, softening the corners of our heart. Melting here for a couple more breaths. Next breath, let's walk our hands back. And we're going to take our right hand, bring the leg back and around. We'll come into a seated twist here. So I want you to try to keep length in your seated twist here, not to round forward and take elbow to knee, but take your right shoulder up and back, your right hand, press it in the earth behind you. Create space so you can create length in your spine. Left hand to your right knee. Inhale, lengthen up and twisting towards the right shoulder. The next inhale, if you want to walk your hand a little closer, inhale, lengthening, exhale, twisting from the belly. You can stay here. If you want to move a little deeper in the twist, you could take your left elbow now outside of the right knee, even walk the hand a little closer in, lengthen up and twist a little deeper. Take a couple more breaths here, your option. Inhaling, twisting, exhaling, opening in the hips and in the torso. And let's release. Bring your hands back, extend the legs out in front of you. Fingertips are pointing towards you, shoulders up and back, and lift the hips, open up in the shoulders. If you want to release the head back, point the toes. Beautiful. Come down, cross legs, come to all four, downward facing dog, or you can stay on all fours if that's best for you today. Take a couple of breaths here. Heels are moving towards the earth. Deep inhale, long exhale. Extend the right leg out and bring it in. In between your hands, we're going to drop the back knee. We're going to start in a lunge. And then your right foot, walk it so it's about underneath your heart. And come to the edge of the foot here. And your knee falls out to the side. And it just helps to open up a little more in the hip here. Sometimes you might want to rock back and forth a little. So now we're going to bring the foot closer in, bring that whole shin closer in as we move into our pigeon prep. So walk hands back. Bring your awareness to the back leg, extended leg, left, whatever leg it is, it might be your left, it might be your right, but take that same arm and reach in the inside of the extended leg, bringing the inner thigh in and up, curling this front hip forward, leveling our pelvis here. It's much healthier for the hip flexors. You want to walk back and forth a little bit, if that feels nice for you. I like to keep the back toes curled under because it helps to keep the back leg in a better alignment. So you can either you can have a block here if this is better for you, or you might be on your hands. Or you can come and round forward. The deep inhale to the back body and exhaling, softening in the hips. Inhale, breathing behind the heart. Om Namah Shivaya. Exhaling, softening. Om Namah Shivaya. Hips into the earth. We're going to stay here for a couple more breaths. Taking the breath deep into the hips. And exhaling, softening. Taking the breath into the rib cage. Expanding the rib cage with the breath. Om Namah Shivaya. And exhaling, softening the ribs towards the earth. Inhaling into the upper body and the shoulders. And exhaling, softening. Couple more breaths here. Inhale, rise up. Take your hand to the back leg, bring it around. We'll do a seated twist on the opposite side. This time it's the left heel, and at least it's my left heel in front of the right knee. You might be doing the opposite of me. Take your left hand behind. Open up in the shoulder, curl it up and back. We're trying to get that shoulder blade on the back. Press the hand into the earth. Right hand to the knee. So your front foot here, it's about right to the edge of the knee here. It's not way to the side. It's almost right to the edge of your opposite knee. Hand to the thigh, inhale, lengthening, exhale, twisting, gazing towards your back. Inhale, lengthening, exhale, twisting. Be soft in the neck. It's a twist from the core. Not the neck, not the shoulders. So the next inhale, you can stay here. Or if you want to bring your hand a little closer for a little deeper twist. This way we move into it. Give the spine opportunity to open up a little deeper. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Moving from the core. If you want to bring the elbow to the knee, you can come in, close the gap a little more between the torso and the knee. Inhale, lengthening, and exhale, twist. And breathe. Deep inhale, lengthening, exhaling. So we'll release the legs, and come onto our back body. Hug the knees into the chest. Rock back and forth a little bit here. Massage the lower back and breathe. Clasp hands behind the thighs, rock up. So we're going to take a blanket here, and I'm folding it, my blanket, into 3. Okay? It's not real thick. And this is going to go right at the bottom of my ribs, right below my shoulders. All right? And then some of you might want, if you have another blanket or pillow, you can have it for your head if you like. It's not necessary. Some students like it, sometimes they don't. So we're going to bring the edge of the blanket like right to the bottom of the ribs here. So it just creates this nice opening, helps to support the chest and the shoulders to roll back, and creates this big space in the heart space. And then knees are bent. Inhale, extend the right leg up, clasp hands behind the right leg and stretch the heel towards the sky. Beautiful. Release that leg. Let's do the other leg. Stretch the left leg up, press the thigh into the hands. Feel the hips releasing into the earth, grounding. Inhale, stretching, exhale, grounding hips into the earth. Beautiful. Now you're going to bring the feet together. We're going to let the knees fall open. So it can come to like an omega. So it kind of makes a diamond. You don't need to bring the feet real close to the body. Let them move away from the body in a way that feels comfortable for you. And we're going to bring our right hand to the heart, left hand to the belly, just for a couple of breaths. And then we'll bring our hands to the side. Actually, let's start with both hands on the lower belly. And bringing the awareness to the lower belly as you take a deep breath in. And then feel the breath fill up all the way to the top of the lungs. And exhale long. So we're going to do this a couple more times. And with the next breath, we're going to breathe in the mantra. Om Namah Shivaya. Deep inhale, filling the lower belly to the top of the lungs. And then exhale, Om Namah Shivaya. Another breath. Take the hands to the middle of the ribs. Breathe into the lower belly, to the center, to the top. Exhale long. Take the hands to the heart space. Breathe into the lower belly, Om Namah Shivaya, to the top of the lungs. Exhale long. Take the left hand to the lower belly, right hand to the heart. We'll take a couple more breaths like this. Full belly breaths. We call this a yogic breath, where we're drawing into the lower belly, then we're coming to the middle, and then all the way to the top. Then we exhale long. And if you like, you can use the mantra with it. We'll do a couple rounds of deep yogic breaths. Inhale, open up both hands to the earth. With an inhale. And then exhale, we're going to slowly bring our arms overhead and extend them out overhead long. Inhale the arms back to the side body. Exhaling, extending the arms up overhead slowly with the exhale. Inhaling, slowly coming back. One last time. Exhale, bring arms up overhead. Next inhale, bring the arms back. Let the hands rest to the side and come to a natural breath. And extend the legs out straight. Deep inhale to lower belly to top of lungs. Filling the whole body with Om Namah Shivaya. I am the divine. Exhaling, softening everything into the earth. We'll stay here in Shavasana for a couple of more minutes. Coming to a natural breath. Om Namah Shivaya. Inhaling Om Namah Shivaya. Exhaling Om Namah Shivaya. Keeping your awareness inside as we move into a seated posture. You can bend the knees, extend the arms up overhead and stretch. Deep inhale. Exhaling, curling over to one side, slowly making your way up. We'll meet in a seated posture where we're just going to sit for a minute of stillness, connecting to that divine within. Feeling rooted in our sit bones. You can press on your thighs as you press into the earth with an inhale. Exhaling, rooting hips into the earth. Hands can rest on the thighs or in the lap. Keeping the awareness with the breath. Awareness with the mantra. Inhaling, expanding in the heart space. Om Namah Shivaya. Exhaling. Om Namah Shivaya. We'll stay here for a minute. Om Namah Shivaya. Inhale, open the hands, open up the heart. Bringing hands in front of our heart in Anjali Mudra, sealing in the mantra, softly bowing the heads toward the heart. We'll take a deep inhale and chant one Om together. Inhale. From that divine Shiva within me to the divine Shiva in you, namaste. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Om Namah Shivaya. Have a wonderful day, wonderful evening. See you next time on the mat.